But live at 1, that is Uganda.
At night, we play a lot. One of them.
I want to thank you so much. May God bless you. May God bless the work of your hands. And may we meet again when we are. Look at me. Look at me, not them. Now, I want you to see. There may not be a factory that is making these nets, but there are threads that are brought in the country for some other purposes.
The uploads of their metal people, the Karamojas, lands have been removed from them, but there are an alternative way of funding them for their survival. So we pray for the same for the people of Bakaabiridde Hon. Another prayer is to the NRM government that as others could be enforced. Another prayer is this fishing community you see should be given some grants. To support our people to begin some other things to do. Madam Chief Guest, is my prayer that if I'm being given 20,000, but I'm still being most that our people should not consume. As if you may break, he was number one. After Stephen came Simon. FPU commanders again. Came commander called Kato. After Kato, I think we have a number of commanders here. Starting with Ampayo, our own Lombara son from Arua here. The same we started with it. Now that the government is calling it illegal, our prayer is
You are putting on it an illegal fishing gear. So you see that when I get you, I will not sympathize with you. But now, this is between us here in the house. There are two categories of people. There is one who has an undersized boat and he puts in,
which we have just heard after national anthems. Number two is welcome the man from the mayor of Pakwach Council. After mayor for today's meeting, permit me to go through the program.
For people who have been displaced by water, because we are now being displaced 700 meters away from the water. FPU, we are going to come to work here, yes. Everything has been banned, nets has been confiscated from fishermen, boats, everything. Wadom Manam, we have remained empty-handed. So, my question is, the same water, which was almost 300 meters from our garden, from our home, has invaded us 500 meters. What are you telling us, government and NRM secretary? We want ministers of the disaster to come and help us. Because how can we shift from 200 meters, another 300 meters, now 500? What is government now? Problem of FPU. They came with the operation, they banned all our boats. Mine was banned free with the net. You promise us with the minister that they should write our name from all the land inside. They wrote our name, up to now. The minister being disaster, being
See, even if you talk, you are not going to succeed because this issue is from above. Now, which above is that one? Which above? Are they not tarnishing the image of a president? Prominent people in government are the people who are grabbing our lands. And they're the ones who have displaced us, evicting over 1,000 people. All our women are now on the street, looking for survival, looking for money for school fees, looking for money, you know, for helping the households. Then secondly, then you go, most of our women on the streets selling this nang nang. It is because there is nowhere they can dig. The land has been grabbed, moreover by prominent people in government. This is what people don't want to hear. You did mention that you are going to air this in your place, in your capacity, at your level. But I must be very sincere to tell you that you may now deliver this issue to the wrong person, and to the person that may be the one disturbing us here. We have, I personally, I was one of those who were interviewed. I'm very much appreciative with this government, first of all. I'm very happy with His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda. Innocent Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. This innocent may sound local, but it is very important for him. He sent his team from the State House to go and investigate about this land. Sincerely, the team went, and I was one of those who were investigated. There is a summarized report by the Brigadier General Henry Shoke. The letter was written directly to the State Minister of Land, Honorable Mayanja. But to date, the information has not come back about that land. And to be very sincere, I am one of the mobilizers of NRM party. But now, whom am I going to mobilize? I'm also affected. My land has been grabbed. Whom am I going to convince? I'm the one supposed to solicit votes for His Excellency. But the person to whom I'm going to solicit vote is affected. He doesn't have land. He's now vulnerable. Now, what are we going to do with this kind of situation?
You don't have a fishmonger license. A fishmonger license, you are breaking and you are breaking the law without a fishmonger license. And what does the law say? A person who trades in fish or fish products without a fishmonger license commits an offense, and on conviction, liable to a fine not exceeding 2,000 currency points or imprisonment not exceeding 2 years or both. You are selling fish of maybe 100,000, but you did not pay a fishmonger license, and when they arrest you,
is to fight illegal fishing in the water. And what is illegal fishing? Illegal fishing is described by the Fisheries and Aquaculture Act and other fisheries fishing relevant laws, which is the Fishing Rules 2010 and the regulations of 2002. The Fisheries and Aquaculture Act specifies what illegal fishing is. Illegal fishing is fish is capture, because all of you here are in capture fisheries. I want to tell you that fisheries is in two sections. There is aquaculture fisheries and there is capture fisheries. Aquaculture fisheries are the ones who do fish farming. You have your land, you dig your pond, and you feed your fish, and then later you harvest and you sell. Capture fisheries, the water is there. Yours is to own the legal fishing gear. You own the license. and then you go to the water which is already there, and you capture the fish either for feed or for sale. So whoever is doing something contrary to what is prescribed by law is what we call illegal fishing, and that's what we are up to. And I've told you that since 2017 up to now, we are still fighting illegal fishing. Illegal fishing is prescribed in terms of methods that are used in fishing. It is prescribed in terms of fishing gear that is used in fishing. And it is also prescribed in terms of size of fish that is supposed to be captured from the water. Like the chairman MC5 has alluded.
And the deputy, diesel, president, commander, UPDF, president.
Narama oye! Narama oye! NRM oye! Wapa oye! Afur oye! Arure oye! Director oye! Stand by!
Say God is good, and I want to thank the Almighty God for the gift of life that He has given us. I want to thank God for who we are, because we are leaders, more so NRM leaders. I want to thank you for supporting NRM. Thank you for supporting President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. We are here because President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has ushered in peace and security in this country. You know what used to happen in the past in the northern region. But we are here celebrating, doing our work with no fear, because we know the NRM government led by President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has done it, and has done it for us. Now what is remaining of us is to ensure that our pockets have something. And that is what the president is fighting for, to ensure that all Ugandans have something. We cannot mobilize people if people are not happy in the pocket. That is where we are starting from. Because if you don't have money, it will be very difficult for you now to give education to your children. And yet the NRM government has given all those opportunities. So in other words, what am I talking about? I'm referring to the services that the government has been able to give, to deliver to the people of Uganda, particularly in Pakwach. I want to appeal to all of us, particularly us the leaders, to ensure that our people get these services. We need to mobilize our people to appreciate, to cherish the services that are provided or given by the government. You have sent in our member of parliament and other leaders that are lobbying for us, and when services come, our people, particularly the flagship programs that the NRM government has put in place in this term, that is the PDM, the Mioga, and those are services, those other services that are to help us in socio-economic transformation. Because that is where the president's interest is now, majorly, to ensure that Ugandans transform economically. So we need to make sure that we mobilize our people to get involved in these programs. And so, one of the reasons why we have come, why I have come on behalf of the NRM party, is to first of all see, together with you, how are the services here? The status of service delivery. What are the challenges? Where are we? In case there are problems or challenges, I need to take back that message. In case we are doing well, what more do we need to add? And secondly, we have issues, particularly of our fishing communities. So we have also come to address those issues. And I'm glad I have come with a team, which we are going to meet at the meeting place, that is going to address us on issues of the fishing community.
A clue on how these fish could be caught without harming the other species. Because these fish, they are classes of people. That's why some people, when they come to town here, they go to eat at some paparas. There are others who know their level is
hotel. There are others who say I cannot eat in Pakwach, they go and eat in Bara. So even the fish, they know how they live in their habitat there. Where you find mukene, the dagger fish, you will not find this other type of fish. So that means I have seen that. Then the second part I have seen is the aspect of the boat size. The aspect of the boat size. Sometimes back, there were some few challenges also in terms of, arrogance, where some of the operation leaders.
These people would have to put on yellow, and the 70 t-shirt per village did not arrive. And up to now, other people are playing around with us because we have to put on our uniform whenever we are coming or moving for a function. Kindly, and those are the things that can identify us. Whenever we are going for a function, whenever we are going for funeral, we have to be in our uniform, the yellow t-shirt. So, if need be, in the next coming mobilization, first of all, what we should think of is sending for us the t-shirts. If those in the city they don't want, send them all to us here. There are many people who can put on them. And all of that. The frustration comes in this way, that when you look at some of these people, most of them are now historical. You look at the like of Bakaabiridde Hon, you look at some of the elders of the district league, the older person league, and other leagues. They are now elderly enough. Even some of the NRM chairpersons, they are now elderly enough, and they're supposed to be now even awarded medal. When we hear people are getting medal in other parts of the country, Pakwach is not exceptional. We would have also to get this medal, and some of them should be in the list of historical, NRM historical. That is where some of our frustration come in, because you work for the party and you are not recognized. Some of that thing frustrate us as a team. The motorboat engine, the boat itself, and to buy the recommended gears. Soft loan for these people, because this PDM cannot work for making a boat, because a boat alone costs around 4 million. A boat engine is about 10 million. And putting the gears for fishing is over 20 million. That one goes up to around 30 million. So a person, a local community here cannot get that one. So if soft loan can be given to some of our fishermen, it will at least stabilize some of our interests. The rest, as I told you, have been clustered that others will talk about.
The law, the act, which actually I want to encourage each of you to download. Just go to Google, put in Fisheries and Aquaculture Act 2023, get it and download it and read it. Go to Google, put Fishing Rules 2010, download them, read through. They will help you a lot, and they will also help you to guide the people. Like the chairman NC5 has alluded, that he has read the law and he has seen that there are some gaps. Yes, it is indeed true that the law specifically talked more about, or regulated more about 3 species of fish. What we call the Nile perch, which is called mputa in Luganda. I don't know how you call it here. And then you call it what? Gur. G-U-R. G-U-R, gur. Aha. Then it also regulated Nile tilapia, which is called ngege in it is called here what? Yes. Orom. O-R-O. You know, I speak some little language, but this one is becoming hard. Okay, so, and then it also regulated mukene, which is called silverfish. Now, there are so many species of fish in Uganda, over 250 species, but they are categorized. And most of these other species that are categorized, most of them are called small pelagic fish. So, like what you are saying now is categorized under those small pelagic fish. You are saying it doesn't grow. However, I also want to challenge the fisheries, the district fisheries.
I want to take this opportunity to thank the leaders that we have worked with to ensure that we meet the fishing community and the leaders, because it is imperative for us as leaders from the center to come and be able to identify the people's challenges and be able to go back and find solutions to these challenges. We have discovered that people in Pakwach majorly depend on fishing because it seems they don't have enough land for agriculture. So they depend majorly on the river and the lake. Now, when they have challenges, and yet His Excellency the President has from time and again encouraged Ugandans to get involved in socio-economic transformation programs to enable them at least be able to get out of poverty. But if they are depending on the lake and the river and they have challenges, as a mobilizer of NRM, I realized it was important to come and see what are the problems. Because at the end of the day, my work as a mobilizer is to ensure that NRM wins. 2026 is not far, and of course it is in my interest to see that NRM, President Museveni and other NRM leaders can win this election. But we cannot win the election if the people are aggrieved. So it is the reason we wanted to identify, and the President from time and again has been guiding us. When we are doing mobilization, it's not about NRM Oye. It is about identifying the challenges of the people and be able to find solutions. Now, I managed to come with a team that is in charge of the fish protection unit. The representative of the commander has come. I came along with him to be able to address the concerns of the people, because the people have always complained of the mistreatment by the fish protection unit. But it is important to also assure the people and give them hope. The good thing is that the commander who was in charge then was mistreating the people. But we are glad when the minister came, the commander was transferred, was removed from this place. But again, there are still other concerns. We are talking about the fishing gears, which are wrong. But the people are questioning, if they are wrong, how do they get into the country? How do the wrong nets get into the country? So these are some of the issues that we need to really put on table at the national level. And secondly, I have discovered that our people are not sensitized. They are very ignorant about the law. So it means we have not done enough sensitization. We need to guide the people, because the ignorance of the law does not save anyone. So if we don't guide the people and if we don't sensitize them and educate them on what the law says, then they will still make mistakes. But secondly, it seems this law, the act, also needs some amendment, because there are issues, there are a lot of gaps, according to what I have found on the ground. And these are some of the things that we want to go back to Kampala and be able to address them with the members of parliament, the speaker and the deputy, to see how they can actually cause or encourage the ministry to come up with some amendments. I want to give an example. For instance, in Pakwach, the river and the lake seem to have different types of fish, a number of different species of fish, and some of them are very small, and yet they are mature. So the law does not cater for that. And on the other hand, we have noted that probably the regulation has not come out. There is no regulation. So implementation without a regulation, I think sometimes makes implementation difficult. So we shall call upon the ministry to come up with the regulations that can help guide in the implementation of this law, because that is where challenges are being met. Now, another thing, water level has gone beyond the buffer zone. Now, it has swallowed up the market that the government put in place for the people. It has also swallowed up some schools. It has swallowed the homes of the people. So I have just met the chief of the people of Pakwach, and he has his home is almost getting swallowed. So they are calling upon the Prime Minister, they are calling upon government to come on board and see how they can be assisted. Of course, the people of Pakwach, particularly those ones who are beyond the buffer zone that has been swallowed up, are requesting government to maybe get them some kind of land where they can shift, because they need to shift. If they don't do that, they will be swallowed. They will be swallowed up. So these are some of the things that we really need to bring on table. And our chairman, who is also the President of the Republic of Uganda, I'm sure he has gotten some of this information, but we need to time and again remind government on these issues. Because at the end of the day, come 2026, if we don't address some of the concerns of the people, then they will lose trust in us.
Okay, Honorable.
Implement a law means there could be challenges. And I think we shall call upon government to ensure that the laws that are already passed are implemented. Because Uganda is one of the countries that has very good policies and legal frameworks. Implementation probably may still be a challenge. It could be because of financial constraints. It could be because of other resources. So we need to I would like to call upon the minister to try and the government to try and implement some of these laws as long as they help our people. Because at the end of the day, the laws that are put in place for a purpose. So if the purpose is not achieved, then something is wrong. So we need to do the needful. And I want to call upon the ministry in charge to do the needful and save our people. Because at the end so much is that His Excellency the President and the chairman of the NRM party has done his part. He has actually done a lot. He has guided us. He has brought in place initiatives that can help our people. Particularly initiatives like the flagship programs of NRM, the Myoga, the PDM, much as the people of Pakwach seem not to be benefiting so much out of it because of the activities they are involved in. So, but at the end of the day, if we leaders have not worked enough and committed enough to help our people get involved into these programs and appreciate them, those are the challenges we are going to face at the last day.
Honorable.
We need to encourage the fishing community members to get involved in circles or associations which can be supported by government, because to be frank, the government may not be able to reach out to individuals and finish all of them in the country, because the fishing community members are many. So if they organize themselves into well-organized circles or organizations or associations, I have no doubt the president cannot fail to help them. Like he has brought programs like PDM and Myoga. I'm sure he can bring some kind of initiative for the people in the fishing community, because one of the things I have noted, PDM gives at least $1 million to a homestead. But you realize that the fishing gears are slightly expensive, a little more expensive. So giving a community or a community member $1 million may not solve the problem of probably purchasing the right fishing gears, like the right boats, like the right nets. So it may be a little bit expensive. So that is why we think we shall plead to government to come up with some kind of initiative or some kind of grant, a one-off, even if it is a one-off, to help these associations so that they can purchase the right gears. But secondly, the people are asking questions. Where are these gears come? I mean, these fishing nets, the wrong fishing nets come from? If they are coming from outside, how do they enter the country? I know we have borders or boundaries, but again, we have an organization in charge of the standards of the things that enter the country, the National Bureau of Standards. So I think these things need to be checked, because at the end of the day, we are the losers as a government. We shall not get the taxes we need, because if people can no longer fish, then where will the taxes come from? We should not take or appreciate taxes of wrong things, because that is where we are killing the quality of our products. So we have that freedom to contest. And because they have that freedom, as a party, everybody is our child. So we cannot wake up one day and say this one is the better child than the other. That is the reason we have the party primary, to help us sieve or choose. The people choose the person of their interest, or the person they desire. I call upon the people who are intending to go for the primary elections to appreciate that once the people decide that this is the one we have chosen, that is the one. And I'm calling upon such candidates. Once you are not chosen in the primaries, we should avoid conflicting, because we should avoid these conflicts, because at the end of the day, it is these conflicts that give room to the opposition to win us. Because every time we conflict, every time we fight, then we give room to other people to go through.
Some of them opt for independence.
Well, if somebody opts for independent and did not stand
after failing,
that is where it is wrong. And that is why I'm calling upon NRM supporters. If you are truly an NRM supporter, there is no reason when you lose in the party primary that you come as an independent, because you are now causing friction amongst the voters, amongst the supporters. It is the reason we put a primary, or we conduct a primary election, to choose, so that people can choose a person they feel is the right leader for them. So there is no reason why they come as many as they, because it will make our primaries redundant and not necessary at one point. If we go for a primary election and then all of those who contested again come back as independents, then it seems it will make the primary elections not necessary anymore. Okwebaza ennyo abantu be Pakwach betusobodde okusisinkana, kubanga olunaku olwaleero nsobodde okusisinkana abakulembeze mu Pakwach district, ate nenfuna n'omukisa nensobola n'okusisinkana ku chief oba gwe twanditutenga kabaka w'abantu be Pakwach. Era omukisa gutukutte nti tusobodde okutegeera ebizibu ebiruma abantu baffe. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni era nga ssentebe w'NRM abadde nga atulambika buli kiseera ng'atugaidinga okulaba nti bwe tuba twagala okutaasa ebizibu by'abantu tulina okunoonya ebyo ebiruma abantu baffe ne tusobola okubinogera eddagala. Ekimu ku bindeese kwe kulaba ebizibu ebiri mu bantu bano, kubanga abantu be Pakwach bawagira nnyo NRM, naye bwe natuukirirwa abakulembeze baabwe nga bantegeeza okusomozebwa kwe bayitamu, nalaba nga kyabuvunaanyizibwa nzije nga Ssaabakunzi okulaba kiki abantu baffe enduulu ze bakuba zigamba ki. Naye ebimu ku byenzudde okusingira ddala abantu beeno enkulaakulana yaabwe bagizimbira ku kuvuba, bavuba mu nnyanja ne mu river. Naye ekisinza okuleeta obuzibu nti babadde n'okwemulugunya olw'ebyo bye bayitamu naddala mu river, mu kuvuba. Babadde banyigirizibwa oba oliawo, naye twakizudde nti eyali komanda oba oliawo eyali takutte bulungi nsonga, naye ekyomukisa omulungi baamukyusa. Kati komanda aliwo abadde abantu abakutte bulungi era ng'abalambika bulungi. Naye ebimu ku byensinza okuzuula nti olw'okuba tumanyi nti waliwo etteeka erikwatagana n'ebyenvuba, naye etteeka lino abantu tebalitegeera bulungi, terisomeseddwa bulungi. So buvunaanyizibwa bwaffe ng'abakulembeze okulaba ng'abantu baffe tubalambika, kubanga obutamanya etteeka tebikugisaako musango. Abantu baffe bategeere bulungi etteeka lino basobole okulaba nga bavuba mu butuufu bwabyo. Ekyokubiri, abantu beebuuza ebibuuzo. Ebintu bino bye bakozesa okuvuba obubi biyitawa okubatuukako, kubanga otunuulira amaato be bageekolera obuliawo tetubalambise bulungi, eryato ettuufu lirina kuba litya era lya sayizi ki. Ekyokubiri, obutimba buvaawa buyingira butya mu ggwanga. N'olwekyo abantu bano batusabye nti ebintu bino byetaaga ne tubikwatako nga gavumenti, tubataase bibiina basobole okulaba nga basobola okuyambibwa, kubanga kiyinza okuba ekizibu ekya gavumenti okuyamba buli muntu kinnoomu, nejja neekuwa ssente matches mu PDM ewa buli muntu kinnoomu, naye abavubi bangi, ate bwe tunaawaako abatono ennyo, then abangi abaana batebannafuna ate be bajja okugenda okukola envuba enkyamu. N'olwekyo basaba nti senga bakola associations zino, gavumenti nesobola bateeramu ku ssente, kijja kubayamba oba kijja kuyamba okulaba nga okusomozebwa kuno kuggwaawo. Ate President Museveni akoze bulungi, kubanga bino byonna abikola olw'okuluubirira okuyamba Munnayuganda asobole okuganyulwa mu ggwanga lye mu ng'ayita mu kwekulaakulanya, era akamu ku musingi ogwa NRM ogwa Social Economic Transformation. N'olwekyo njagala okukubiriza abakulembeze, naye n'ekirala n'okukubiriza naffe okwekubiriza ffe abava ku ssenta, okulaba nga twongera amaanyi mu kulaba nga ensonga ze tuzudde mu community ebiruma abantu nga tubyanjulira bakama baffe okulaba nga bikolebwako. Bwe bitaakolebweko tujja kutuuka mu 2026 nga abantu bakyayina oboolyawo okunakuwala bwe tunala tetukute ku nsonga zaabwe. This must be a different story.
Then the issue of undersized boats. True, the issue of undersized boats, I've talked to the sector commander, and I also talked to the...
We had about December, January, was not compatible with the environment at all, with us even the leaders. When we deploy, let us deploy people who are human. I want to thank the current commander. I have not met him, but I talked to him. When he was deployed, I called him. I welcomed him to Pakwach on phone. I made some prayers to him. And I think so far, not very bad. But because people are not very ready, this policy is having some challenges, which we have again and again put to government. On the 3rd of September 2021, I brought here the Minister of State for Fisheries. We again had a meeting like this, and a baraza like we are going to have one in Palimuru Town Council. The people of Pakwach, the fishers, the elders, put to her what makes Pakwach unique. And we thought we were going to be considered. Wonderful examples. That I request you take back to the Secretariat, which I know will end up with SEC, where the leader of government business, the Prime Minister, sits, is that let there be continuous education on the policy. 2, the people have been asking me, are we not manufacturing these nets in Uganda? And I took my time, I moved out of Parliament, I went to Bukolobi where we used to have a fish net factory. It's no longer there. My assumption is there, therefore, that we no longer produce fish nets in Uganda, but they are being imported. And if they're imported, then there's import fee duty on them. Government is earning revenue, but at the same time putting these nets on the market, and after buying, they say, bring it here again. You have bought a wrong thing. Who is supposed to be in charge of standards? And somebody who is in charge of standards is there. Uganda National Bureau of Statistics under Ministry of Trade. Why are they punishing fishers of Uganda? By allowing a wrong product on the market, and after it has been, revenue has been earned, then they say bring it back. Is this fairness? My prayer therefore today, in the short term, is that let there be enforcement on non-entry of these products in Uganda. Let there be non-entry of it, so that they're not on the market. When a product is not on the market, you will not buy. I've even gone as far as telling my people, don't buy Mila, don't buy Korokota, because when a seller brings a product and it's a dead stock, he will not restock it. But they're saying how? That's what we can afford. So there's a question of affordability also. Can government, through its partners, organize for affordable means of these nets for our people? For me, I don't want to ask for a loan. If it is going to be funds given to these fishers of Pakwach, let it be a grant. We are overburdened with loans. We are overburdened with loans. And I want to point to where these funds are, even in the country right now. We have Microfinance Support Center. I sit in the Committee of Finance. Microfinance Support Center has both a loan product and grant. Why can't some of the grants in Microfinance Support Center be given to the fishers of Uganda, especially Pakwach district? That is in the short term. But on other waters, some can never grow. I'll be able to make sure that you see and partake of Onang today. Okwoki, they can't grow. So, Honorable, why I brought you here, I have been mobilizing the communities to create wealth, to go into production of crops and animals, plant trees, plant fruit trees, send your children to school. But the feedback I was getting was, Honorable, how do we do that? By the way, in Junam here, some of the secondary goers pay themselves school fees by fishing. And since the boats and the nets were destroyed or burnt, these boys can no longer do fishing, and hence they are along the road. You see them when we are going to Palimo. They have dropped out of school. How will Pakwach be even with the other districts in Uganda in terms of poverty eradication? We need both. We need short-term, medium-term, and long-term interventions. One day I locked myself in a room and tried to cost how much a boat can be, how much I rank in Obe everywhere. I realized it was huge. And that knowing our resource envelope, I was like, in the future, and the future can be next year, the next financial year. So that we bring all these fishermen, disgruntled fishermen and women and fishmongers into the net of NRM for our future productivity in harvesting the boats that we intend to harvest. Why can't we come up with a fund, a deliberate intervention to support the fishing communities of Uganda? Honorable, there is no deliberate intervention by government to support fishers of Uganda. It is not there. You can't call it that it is a myoka, you can't say it is PDM. 1 million, can it buy you a boat engine? No. So we need a deliberate fund, a deliberate intervention to support the fishermen and fishmongers of Uganda. And that one government can do. We can suppress the budget somewhere. We are not a minority in Uganda. Even if we are a minority, we deserve better. That is about the fishing. The rest, the chairperson, NRM, and then the chairman, LC5 has mentioned. But